trickled down her shoulders. Her gown was a green, green as young reeds, shot with silver like beads of dew, and her belt was of gold, shaped like a chain of flag lilies set with pale blue eyes of forget-me-nots. About her feet in wide vessels of green and brown earthenware, white water lilies were floating, so that she seemed to be enthroned in the midst of a pool. I just don't get it. I need to know the deeper meaning of these books.
Perhaps I could be of assistance.
Who are you?
I'm the ghost of J.R.R. J.R.R. Never mind. I am Mr. Tolkien. Anyway, I've come to help you find the deeper meaning of these books and how they connect to my life. Okay, well, I've brought along some hobbits to help me explain. Merry, Pippin, come along now! Merry, Pippin, you are needed right now. Merry, Pippin, get your hairy hobbit feet in here this instant!
But, sir, we haven't had second breakfast yet.
I don't think he cares about second breakfast, Pip.
Yes, I don't care. We need to help. What's your name, dearie?
Bertha!
We must help Bertha understand how I connected my life to writing.
Oh, right. I do know that you love to write about nature in your works.
Yes, indeed I do. Let us start there.
Love nature!
He always was such an enthusiast about nature.
Obviously, Mary, it is clear to anybody that he is, especially in a short story Leaf by Nigel. The main character, Nigel, spends most of his life painting a tree, and then, when he goes out on a journey to the forest, he finds a tree, the perfect tree that he can never actually paint. He cares about the forest so much, especially the tree, and he almost sounds like Mr. Tolkien himself.
That's the biggest thing that stuck out to me when I read Leaf by Nigel. I believe that Mr. Tolkien invented the character Nigel after himself because he loves nature so much. I mean, look at him.
But what about the nature in the Lord of the Rings?
If you hadn't noticed, the nature in Lord of the Rings is always depicted as a good thing. In Mordor, where the rings are created, it is the land is barren of nature. In Gondor, where the good forces come from, the land is alive and blossoming with nature.
Some of the characters, such as Goldberry, Tom Bombadil, and Old Man Willow, are very much a part of nature as well. Goldberry is referred to as the river daughter, and Tom Bombadil is the master of wood, water, and hill. Why Old Man Willow is a tree that comes to life.
Oh, how I wish I could go live in the English countryside again.
Mr. Tolkien, you're dead. That won't happen.
A man can dream, can't he?
I don't think it is possible to dream when one is dead.
Well,
Come on, Bertha. Let's go get Mr. Tolkien, and then we can finish our discussion about his writings.
okay.
Another thing to know about Mr. Tolkien's writings is that he put his Catholic views into his work.
Indeed he did. He was quite the devoted Catholic, too.
Why was it put into your work, though, and how was it put into your work? I've never noticed it before. My dear mother influenced my Catholic faith. My father died shortly after I turned 4, and my mother was then left to raise my brother Hilary and me. She then became a part of the Roman Catholic Church in Birmingham. Her faith was so strong, and she wanted so badly for my brother and me to keep the faith as well. When she died, I vowed to myself I would keep the faith, not only in my life, but also in my work. That is so sweet, Mr. Tolkien. You must have really loved her. But may I ask again, how was it in your works?
Ooh, I know this one. In The Lord of the Rings, the ring is a temptation to everyone, just like sinning is to people in your life, Bertha. Once the people get a hold of one of the rings, they can't handle the evil power and become corrupted.
The Black Riders that were once talked about were once men, but the rings corrupted them so much that they came to a state between life and death, and only want to find one of the powerful rings.
As for the short story Leaf by Nigel, Nigel goes through the 4 stages of life, death, purgatory, and heaven or paradise. These 4 stages are particularly believed in the Catholic faith.
Nigel starts out the story in the stage of life, but then he has to go on a long journey, which is death. He's not prepared for his journey, so he cannot proceed with it. Instead, he has to go to a workhouse until he is ready to move on. This is purgatory.
Finally, he is released from the workhouse to a forest, which has a tree that is perfect to him. Nigel had always tried to paint it, but could never get the image quite right. This is Nigel's heaven.
My hobbits, I'm so proud of you. I've taught you well. So you see, Bertha, I incorporated things that were important to me into my writings that were, in the end, more meaningful.
Wow, I had never thought about any of that stuff before. It all makes sense now. Thanks, Mr. Tolkien. Thanks, Mary. Thanks, Pippin.
You're very welcome. I'm afraid it is getting late, though. We don't want to miss tea time, as we have already missed second breakfast and lunch.
Hey, tea time!
All right, you two. Let's go.
Goodbye, Bertha!
Wow, thanks to Mr. Tolkien and his sidekicks, I learned the deeper meaning behind his writings. I think I should write this down. Let's see. J.R.R. Tolkien's Catholic views and interest in nature are often portrayed as themes in his work. That's a pretty good thesis statement right there. I should use that in a project someday.